We go by a secret path along the rim of the dark city. Between the wall and the torments, my master leads me, and I follow him. Supreme virtue, who through this impious land wheel me at will down these dark gyres, I said, speak to me, for I wish to understand. Tell me, master, is it permitted to see the souls within these tombs? The lids are raised, and no one stands on guard. And he said to me, all shall be sealed forever on the day these souls return here from Jehoshaphat with the bodies they have given once to clay. In this dark corner of the morgue of wrath lie Epicurus and his followers, who make the soul share in the body's death. And here you shall be granted presently not only your spoken wish, but that other as well, which you had thought perhaps to hide from me. And I said, except to speak my thoughts in few and modest words, as I learned from your example, dear guide, I do not hide my heart from you. O Tuscan, who go living through this place, speaking so decorously, may it please you to pause a moment on your way, for, by the grace of that high speech in which I hear your birth, I know you for a son of that noble city which perhaps I vexed too much in my time on earth. These words broke without warning from inside one of the burning arcs. Caught by surprise, I turned in fear and drew close to my guide. And he said, turn around. What are you doing? Look there. It is Farinata rising from the flames. From the waist up, his shade will be made clear. My eyes were fixed on him already. Erect he rose from the flame. Great chest, great brow. He seemed to hold all hell in disrespect. My guide's prompt hands urged me among the dim and smoking sepulchres to that great figure, and he said to me, mind how you speak to him. And when I stood alone at the foot of the tomb, the great soul stared almost contemptuously before he asked, of what line do you come? Because I wished to obey, I did not hide anything from him, whereupon, as he listened, he raised his brows a little, then replied, bitter enemies were they to me, to my fathers, and to my party, so that twice I sent them scattering from high Italy. If they were scattered still from every part, they formed again and returned both times, I answered, but yours have not yet wholly learned that art. At this, another shade rose gradually, visible to the chin. It had raised itself, I think, upon its knees, and it looked around me, as if it expected to find through that black air that blew about me another traveler, and weeping when it found no other there, turned back. And if, it cried, you travel through this dungeon of the blind by power of genius, where is my son? Why is he not with you? And I said to him, not by myself am I born this terrible way. I am led by him who waits there, and whom perhaps your Guido held in scorn. For by his words and the manner of his torment I knew his name already, and could therefore answer both what he asked and what he meant. Instantly he rose to his full height. He held? What is it you say? Is he dead, then? Do his eyes no longer fill with that sweet light? And when he saw that I delayed a bit in answering his question, he fell backwards into the flame and rose no more from it. But that majestic spirit, at whose call I had first paused there, did not change expression, nor so much as turn his face to watch him fall. And if, going on from his last words, he said, men of my line have yet to learn that art that burns me deeper than this flaming bed. But the face of her who reigns in hell shall not be 50 times rekindled in its course before you learn what griefs attend that art. And as you hope to find the world again, tell me, why is that populace so savage in the edicts they pronounce against my strain? And I said to him, the havoc and the carnage that dyed the Arbia red at Montaperti have caused these angry cries in our assemblage. He sighed and shook his head. I was not alone in that affair, he said, nor certainly would I have joined the rest without good reason. But I was alone at that time when every other consented to the death of Florence. I alone, with open face, defended her. Ah, so your soul sometime have rest. So may your soul sometime have rest, I begged him. Solve the riddle that pursues me through this dark place and leaves my mind perplexed. You seem to see in advance all time's intent, if I have heard and understood correctly, but you seem to lack all knowledge of the present. We see a squint, like those who twisted sight can make out only the far off, he said, for the King of all still grants us that much light. When things draw near or happen, we perceive nothing of them. Except what others bring us, we have no news of those who are alive. So may you understand that all we know will be dead forever from that day and hour when the portal of the future is swung to. Then, as if stricken by regret, I said, now, therefore, will you tell that fallen one who asked about his son that he is not dead? And that, if I did not reply more quickly, it was because my mind was occupied with this confusion you have solved for me. And now my guide was calling me. In haste, therefore, I begged that mighty shade to name the others who lay with him in that chest. And he said, more than 1,000 cram this tomb. The second, Frederick, is here, and the Cardinal of the Ubaldini. Of the rest let us be dumb. And he disappeared without more said, and I turned back and made my way to the ancient poet, pondering the words of the dark prophecy. He moved along, and then, when we had started, he turned and said to me, what troubles you? Why do you look so vacant and downhearted? And I told him, and he replied, well may you bear those words in mind. Then, pausing, raising a finger, now pay attention to what I tell you here. When finally you stand before the ray of that sweet lady, whose bright eyes sees all, from her you will learn the turnings of your way. So saying, he bore left, turning his back on the flaming walls, and we passed deeper yet into the city of pain, along a track that plunged down like a scar into a sink, which sickened us already with its stink.